A matter of months after guiding Bayern Munich to a Bundesliga title, Carlo Ancelotti has been sacked following an abject 30 defeat against PSG in the Champions League. Ancelotti departs the Allianz Arena with an excellent record that reads 42 wins from just 60 matches played, but reports of dressing room unrest allied to an inconsistent start to the season saw the Italian receive his marching orders. He becomes the earliest dismissal in a season in Bayern's history. Defending in Numbers is a new Deezer Originals football podcast, created by Squawka. Listen to the latest episode and subscribe to the podcast on Deezer and iTunes. So what happens next for Bayern? Well, in the interim, former player Willy Sagnol has been placed in temporary charge. The Frenchman has top-level managerial experience, having previously taken charge of France's U21 side as well as Bordeaux, and he will have the opportunity to prove his credentials in the coming weeks. But given their status as one of the biggest and most historic clubs in European football, Bayern Munich will virtually have their pick of top-class managers to replace Ancelotti in the longer term. Here are 4 options they could turn to. Carlo Ancelotti is the only manager to win the league in 4 of Europe's top 5 leagues: Trophy Bundesliga, Trophy League 1, Trophy Premier League, Trophy Serie A. Pick.twitter.com Kicksazing, Squawka Football at Squawka, September 28, 2017. Dream, Jurgen Klopp. Only in July, former Bayern Munich manager Ottmar Hitzfeld made the bold declaration that Jurgen Klopp would one day manage Bayern Munich, saying, "I think and expect him to be the FC Bayern coach one day." Of the main candidates being linked to the post, Klopp is unquestionably the most successful in German football, having previously steered Borussia Dortmund to back-to-back Bundesliga titles at Bayern's expense in 2011 and 2012. His time at BVB ended in unhappy circumstances as the club slumped to a 7th-place finish in the Bundesliga and lost the DFB Pokal final, but his reputation in his homeland remains extremely strong. It is unlikely that Klopp would opt to leave Liverpool at this stage, but plenty of players and coaches have found it impossible to ignore the allure of Bayern Munich, as Klopp knows well, having seen Mario Götze and Robert Lewandowski join the club during his time with Dortmund. If Bayern are after an elite coach with a history of success in the Bundesliga, Klopp represents the ideal candidate. Realistic, Thomas Tuchel. An issue that Bayern might face in their search for a new manager is that rival clubs will be extremely unwilling to let them negotiate with their manager a matter of weeks into a new campaign. That makes out-of-work coaches such as Thomas Tuchel all the more attractive, particularly on a short-term basis, with the idealistic former Dortmund coach unattached after leaving the club last season. While Tuchel was unable to deliver Bundesliga glory to Dortmund as Klopp had done before him, he managed to re-establish the club as Bayern's main competitors while also winning the DFB Pokal final in his final game in charge. Tuchel might not possess a top-flight European title on his CV, but he is regarded as one of the finest up-and-coming managers in Europe thanks to his innovative tactics and the attacking intent he imposes on his side. Wildcard, Luis Enrique. When Pep Guardiola departed Bayern for Manchester City last summer, the club acted quickly to hire another manager with Champions League winning credentials, with Ancelotti coming in. Although they have come close on a couple of occasions, Bayern haven't lifted the Champions League since Jupp Heynckes inspired them to the trophy 4 years ago, and it was perhaps the comprehensive defeat to PSG that pushed Ancelotti over the edge. Like Ancelotti, Luis Enrique has won the Champions League recently, having guided Barcelona to a treble in 2015 with a team spearheaded by the fearsome trident of Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez and Neymar. Bayern possesses similarly potent attacking weapons in their armory in the form of James Rodriguez, Arjen Robben and Robert Lewandowski, and Enrique has proven that he can get the best out of talented attacking players in the past. Enrique endured a difficult spell outside of his native Spain previously when managing Roma, and he might be tempted to get back into the managerial saddle in Germany to prove his Barcelona success was no one-off. Squawka suggests Julian Nagelsmann. Hiring a 30-year-old with less than 2 years in charge of a top-flight club might seem like a risk, but Julian Nagelsmann has achieved so much in a short space of time that it could prove to be a masterstroke. After taking over a Hoffenheim side that was in serious danger of slipping out of the Bundesliga in 2001,516, Nagelsmann kept the team up and then guided them to a highest-ever Bundesliga finish of 4th the following season. Hoffenheim lost out to Liverpool in the Champions League playoffs, but a major factor in their two-leg defeat was the loss of their 2 most influential players, Sebastian Rudy and Niklas Süle, over the summer. Both players ended up at Bayern Munich, and if there's a man that can help them rediscover their form, it is Nagelsmann, whose tactical acumen has caught the eye in the early days of his career in the dugout.